Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have the Q and no way of getting rid of it, so I'm inclined to change. Or I could play cello, keeping QA. Then if I draw a T, I have cat. And this will get some points on the board. Cello, 20 points. Fantastic, I do draw a T, but more importantly, I draw the U. So I have a choice of plays here. What I don't have is a bingo, but I will at least be able to offload this Q. So I have quiet in column 5. I have antiqued. I do have a bingo. I have antiqued through the E of cello if that stays available. Well, it may well be taken because it is in a double-double column. It is taken and no alternative E is provided, but the I of mixed allows me to play die-quot, which places the Q on the triple letter square. Now I'm wondering about playing down from A4. So I've got Quiner. That's going to score more than die-quot. $52 points, that's pretty good. I draw the Z, another good scoring tile. Certainly no bingo with this rack. Good response from my opponent, 51 points for query. Now, where can I play my Z to good effect? Onto a G, I would have Zaftig. I've got Tsar as a 2-letter play, which could play above the O of cello, but for not many points. Do I have anything coming down from the C of cello? I don't think so. This is a long way from a bingo-y rack, so I don't have to play my F straight away. My Z straight away, rather. So what I could do is play diff down here, placing my F there. Now what about filer? F-I-L-A. That's going to split up the duplicate A and score 40 points. Filer takes an R. Well, I don't draw any more vowels, which is a shame. High-scoring tiles like the Z go well with vowels. But I do have one vowel. So, apart from the Z, my scoring tile is the P. In column 2, PI takes nothing in front, so I can't really use that to good effect. And DA doesn't take anything, or doesn't take anything that I've got in front of it, so I can't play down from the C of cello. What I could do is play plots in column 8. It won't score very much, but it will certainly sort the rack out. £16 points. Now pod takes an A in front, so do I have a play across here in row B beginning with the Z or the P, or even ending AUP? I don't think I do, so I will go with this. Another highly non-bingo-y rack. I have a 20-point lead, which is quite slender, and that's disappeared. Convo takes an S and a Y after it. Now, can I play this V? Again, I'm looking in row B to see if I've got a something AU play. And I don't. I could play VAV, keeping holds in row K. Can I do any better than that? I'm looking in row B. My H could go underneath the E, and my S can go underneath the U. But I don't have a something AUSH play. VAV is quite good because it provides nothing for my opponent, and the score is okay, 18 points. And this is a fairly balanced rack, in that I'm keeping one vowel and a high-scoring tile, so I shouldn't be in too much trouble next go, even if I am a long way from a bingo. Well, I do have a second vowel now. Nice bingo by my opponent. Do I have a bingo through any of those floaters? Unlikely. I don't like the look of this rack. My opponent has a 60-point lead. Agonize takes a D and an S after it. So what I could do is play Odars down here. I'm getting 3 points for playing off the second S, which makes it worthwhile. 49 points. Wow. Lots of ease. Through an M, I would have Telesemi. Can't see any other bingos. 27 points for my opponent. Now, I'm just looking around at the floaters, and there aren't many of them. The T and Z of plots, and the S of agonized. So I'm looking to play off 2 E's. And I don't mind playing off the L as well. So I could play Z in row J. 14 points. Can I do any better than that? And that's quite good. I've got the S for making Z's next go, if it stays available. And this is quite a balanced rack leave. Can't see a bingo with this rack. I have a scoring tile in the W. And I'm looking around for places where that W can go. Another bingo for my opponent. 79 points. He's now over 100 points ahead. There's still 27 tiles left, including both blanks. Now, the obvious play is new down here. It would be nice to play off the L as well. But can I do that? Well, I can. I could play Lou across here. £14 points. Slightly problematic because Lou doesn't take an S at the end. And I'm blocking row L as a bingo lane. But I think with row N and column 14 still being available, I can play this. But is there somewhere less dangerous? It would be good to play it somewhere completely different, either opening the board up or simply not getting in the way of existing bingo lanes. Your takes an L at the end, but what I can't do is play the W. And I do need to get rid of the W. "10 minutes on the clock." I could play Pew in row F, but I think keeping L, N and T is not bingo. I think that the L does need to go. Wells is good, so I could play that in row E, but for not many points, only 7 points. So, should I do this? Or play new? I think I will go with this. Better rack leave. Oh, what about just playing it one further across here? That's a few more points. Fantastic. I draw the blank, which can be a D, so I can make tenders and tondras and elude. 29 points for my opponent. He's 120 points ahead, so I'm not going to catch him, but I'm going to close the gap. Now what I'd like to do is keep row N open as a bingo lane. If I play tondras, I'll be taking that out. So, do I have a bingo which ends D something? No, I don't, because the blank has to be a D, and it's tenders, tondras, and sterned. So, should I look elsewhere for a bingo? If I play in row N, I'm providing easy access to row O. 8 minutes on the clock. I want at least a double word square. Maybe there's a play in row L because my S can go underneath EL. If it begins with the S, I'll be opening up column 15. So I can't see a good play there. I'm inclined to play tondras. And see what happens. There's still another blank out there. Actually, tenders is going to be better because it doesn't place a vowel next to the double word square. 70 points. I don't draw the blank. But what I could do next go is play in row N across here, opening up both column 15 and row O. I'm 50 points behind. My opponent's on turn, so I'm likely to be a bingo behind at the end of this. at the end of his move. I'm looking to see what I've got in row N, placing either my H or my M on the triple letter square. Well, I've got hosing, which I think is going to maximise the score, split up the duplicate O. Playing off a lot of tiles is good, even though I'm behind, because it maximises my chances of drawing the blank. 36 points. I don't get the blank. Now I note there are only 3 vowels left, so my opponent could have a consonant-heavy rack. Well, there's the blank, and that's the end of my hoops for this game. I can play mare across here. I can see what my opponent's got. He hasn't got a good rack, so I'm looking to go out in 2 and maximise my score. So this score's 37 points, and EA, I'm sure, can go out in a whole bunch of places. I can play EA, making B and NA, and EAN across here, so I've got at least 2 outs. I've got EAU across here, so I don't see any need to look for a better play than mare. I don't think it will be significantly better. I suppose I could have looked to see where my opponent was likely to play his K, but he doesn't have a fabulous spot for that. So where's best for my outplay? So EAU across here, 13 points. Can I do any better than that? Nothing goes between P and K. Can't play... Ah, well, I could play EA across here. Only 10 points. Okay, let me just consider this a little more methodically, working from the top to the bottom. So I'm looking to beat 13 points. Haven't seen anything to beat that yet. Still haven't seen anything to beat it. Okay, well, I think this is the best I can do. EAU for 13. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And the final score, 391 to me, 445 to my opponent, a winning margin of 54 points. So, well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go fast. I thought about changing, and then decided that cello was better, and I still think that is the case. And I think QA is a better rack lead than QE because of the cat play. This is my opponent's rack. He nearly has, or would have, Pixidium through an I. No such luck. And he blocks my antiqued. And Quiner for 52 was the best play, or the highest scoring play, and I think it probably was the best as well. My opponent has the U to take advantage of that Q. He has Purveyor through an R, no R available. And this is my rack. Now, it looks like I could have played the Z. And adds B8 across here underneath the Y of query would have scored 38 points However, it would have provided a very easy E hook for my opponent to use in column 11, and there were a lot of E's out there. So filer for 40 is probably close to adds. Not a good rack for my opponent. He plays pod, and then this is where I played plots for not many points. Adds still available for 38, 22 points more than plots. The rack leave of LPST is a lot worse than ADS. Is it 22 points worse? Maybe. ADS is quite a nice rack leave. My opponent's rack, he plays Convo. And I played Vav here for 18 points, keeping holds. Well, these moves are all very similar, so I think Vav is fine. My opponent has Agonize. What else does he have? Lineages, but Agonize scores more. And this was my rack. Now I played Odors for 49. I could have got one more point by playing Hods, and the rack leave of ALS is slightly better than LS, so I probably played Odars a little too quickly there. Hods was a slightly better play. On the other hand, Hods or Odors brings me to about 20 behind my opponent, so after his turn I'm going to be 40 or 50 behind, and Odars is a more open play because it leaves more of the letters in Agonize available as floaters, and it also opens up column 14, so Odars does have some strategic merit over Hods. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Voodoo, a nice UUW dump, and this was my rack. Great, I didn't miss a bingo here. And here I played Z for 14, keeping EE LST, and I think even though I could have got 5 or 6 more points, this is quite a good 5-letter set to keep. My opponent's rack, he has Isotine, and a whole bunch of other bingos. And this is my rack. What did I do here? Well, this is where I played Liu across here, keeping ENST. Well, I guess the only comparable rack leaves are ENS, but actually the T, I think, does help ENS. So Towel at L3. Well, that's quite interesting, because it keeps open rows L beginning above the E of Isotine and row N, so it does keep open bingo lanes. So I think Towel may be better than Lou. My opponent had the blank, his blank for a long time. What could he have done here? Well, what he did do, play Batch. Now this is my bingo. I played Tondras, or Tenders rather. L9, Slenter. So there was a play beginning with the S here. It places the R on this double letter square, which does open up column 15. Well, it is covering the double letter square, so I'm not sure about that. It scores 5 more points. It opens up column 15. I am behind. Tenders doesn't open up any new bingo lanes, but it also doesn't open up the triple word square. I think on balance I prefer Slender. This is my opponent's rack. No bingos there for him. He plays Fib. And this is my rack. I played Hosing, and I think that's best. My opponent's rack. What does he have here? Well, he had Jag for 60. He played Rejigs for 63, so he went for the highest scoring play, and that's fine. That guaranteed him the win. And this is my rack. I played Mare fairly quickly for 37 points, and I could have got 5 more points because MY goes underneath HO. I didn't see that. but I may not have been able to get quite as much for AO as I got for AE, so probably not a great deal between them. My opponent's rack. He played core somewhere for 25, and he could have got 3 more points for core O. And finally, I played O for 13, and that was the highest scoring play. So, a good game, and well done to my opponent. I think a particularly interesting move in that game was the Tondas one. I'm still torn as to whether that was better than Slenter. I really didn't like the fact that it provided no new bingo lanes and it closed down row N. So possibly Slenter was the better play. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that video and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.